Hello everyone, this is Mike Sangvi from vlaman.com and I am back with another SQL Server 2014 tutorial video. And in this video we are going to learn about order by clause. What is order by clause and how to use it in SQL Server. This is my blog post link if you want more reference on order by clause. So let's start. And before explaining order by clause, I want to show I covered all this topic as a part of select statement. So select top, distinct, select column list from table name, where clause. I explain where clause with how to use numbers in where clause, how to use strings in where clause. Now in this video I am going to explain order by clause, and in my next video I am planning to explain group by. So let's start. What is order by clause? Order by clause is used to sort the SQL Server output, or in other words, you execute any query and you want to sort the output of your query, then you can use order by clause. What is the syntax of order by clause, or how to use order by clause in a select statement? So here is the syntax of order by clause. Select your column list from your table name, your order by column list, collate or collation name. The collation name, it decide which collation you want to use for sorting, ascending and descending, the order in which you want to sort the column. Offset, let's say your table retain 10 records and you want records from third row, then you can decide or mention the value in this offset. And fetch, from third row how many numbers of record you want, you mention in this fetch. So let's open SQL Server Management Studio and execute few queries to understand the order by clause. Here is my SQL Server Management Studio, the same syntax. Now here is the example. I have a adventure work 2014.person.person table, and I want to order my person.person table output according to the first name of person. So how I am going to achieve? Simple. Let me execute the query first, and here is my by default order of here is the by default output of the person.person table. So currently it is sorted according to the business entity ID. Now I want to sort this output according to the first name of the person. So how I am going to achieve this scenario? Here is the example. This is very simple example. I forgot to mention that all this is not mandatory column. It is not mandatory to mention all this stuff. If you want to sort, these three words are compulsory. First one is your order, then by, and third, the last is your column name. Okay, here is the practical example. Select star from adventure work .person.person. This is my select statement. List of column. In this I am retrieving all the columns of person.person table. Order by first name, and I want the order in ascending order. Let's execute this query, and here is my output, and now my output is order according to the first name. So let me execute both the query so you are able to understand the difference between both the output. So this is the output without order by clause, and this is the output with order by clause. Now what if you want to sort the same thing in descending order? Here is the example, and let me execute this. So this is my first query without any sorting or without order by clause. This is my second query sorted on first name, and this is my third query output sorted on last name. Now what if I am going to execute only this part? Okay, let's execute only this part. This is the first query without any order by clause, and this is my second query with order by column name. Now my output is sorted according to the first name in ascending order. So if you are not going to mention ascending or descending in your query, then by default the order of sorting is ascending. In this example or in this execution, the output is sorted according to the first name in ascending order. Actually I executed this, so let me make it a separate query. Execute it once more, and again the same result. Now this is a very simple example to see the behavior of order by clause. Now let's add some variation in my order by. Now more complex scenario in order by clause. Here is the practical scenario. I have to order my output of employee table according to employee first name and last name. How I am going to achieve this? Simple. Here is the syntax. If you want to add multiple columns, select start from your table name, where order by your column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3, comma, column 4, and so on. You can also add, this is not mandatory, but if you want to decide order of a specific column, then you have to mention this, ascending or descending after each column. Sorry, I copied the wrong stuff. Let me copy it again and paste it here. So here, this is the syntax if you want to add more than one columns in your order by clause. To achieving this scenario, this is the example. Select start from your table name. Actually vEmployee is the view, vEmployee is a view, and we are sorting the output according to the first name and last name. So let's execute, and we didn't mention anything, any ascending or descending keyword. So by default SQL Server is going to sort first name and last name in ascending order. So here is the output, and this is my first name, all sorted in ascending order. And for these two records, check the last name. My last name is also sorted in ascending order. So here is C and H. Now what if I have to order my output of employee table according to employee first name and last name? Also I want order of first name is in ascending order and order of last name in descending order. So how you are going to achieve this? Simple. You have to mention ascending or descending after each column, and if you are not mentioning anything, then by default it is ascending. So let me execute this query, and this query is going to achieve our this scenario. Execute, and now my first name is in ascending order and last name in descending order. So compare this to output. At 9 previously, see, Sensini is the 8th record and Hill is the 9th record. Now the Sensini is the 9th record and Hill is the 8th record. And let me show you the other query. In this I didn't mention anything for first name, so by default first name is in ascending order. Okay, you can reverse it if you want. If you want first name in descending order and last name in ascending order, then you can type the query like this, and this is also possible query if you are not going to mention anything for last name. Now my first name is in descending order and my last name is in ascending order. So let me find a record with common first name, and here is the 24th and 25th. This and this. My first name is in descending, TS, and my last name in ascending, E and M. Okay, so my scenario is achieved. This is duplicate. I don't want this. Okay, now this is another scenario. In this we use 3 columns. I just mentioned this query here to show if you want to add more than 1 or 2 column, then how to add more than 1 or 2 column in your order by clause. So default, here we didn't mention anything for ordering. Default, the ordering of all the 3 column is in ascending order. So my first name is in ascending order. Let me find record with similar first name. My middle name is also in ascending order. My last name is also in ascending order. Sorry, our third column is job title. Again, job title, this is not in ascending because first it is going to sort according to the first name, then it is sort according to the last name, and then if any duplicate record is there with last name, then it going to sort with the job title. So let me explain this with a very small example. Say I have a column, numeric column, and then I have a B. Let me B, C, D, and here let me X, Y, or let's say 21, 22, it's maybe a age 23, 24, 25, or make it something else, 35, 37, 38, and 39. So what's happening if I'm going to write a query like this? Select, start from my table name, and you have to order by column 1, column 2, and column 3. Let me name this C2 and C3. This scenario, first my output is going to sort according to the column name 1. So this C1, my record is first sorted, all the records are sorted according to the column name 1, and then it's going to sort according to column 2. Now all this record is sorted, then this record is going to sort. One sorting is done for C2 and C1, then finally SQL Server is going to sort record for C3. The same thing is happening here. My first name is sort first, my last name is sort second, and after this this record is going to be sort. Can I able to show you somehow in the same scenario? Okay, select all. Okay, don't bother about this query. I have to explain union all and subqueries, so just for timing I am creating dummy data to explain order by properly. lots of duplicate record. So my record is first here. My record is sorted with, okay, I'm not able to show you properly. Okay, just remember, if you add multiple columns in order by clause, then your first sorting is done by your first column, then sorting is done by your second column, and then your sorting is done by third column, and so on. Okay, this is another example. In this the sorting of first name and last name is ascending and job title is descending. Now in this, all my column, employee first name, okay, now I want to show how to use numbers in place of your column name. Okay, what if you have to mention 10 columns or 20 columns in your order by clause, and each column is very lengthy? So typing 20 column is a very tedious task. So what is the alternative in this scenario? In this scenario, you can use number in place of column name. You have to just remember that this is the syntax for using number. Order by, and you can use 1 instead of C1, 2 instead of C2, 3 instead of CE, 4 instead of C4. So 1 means the first column in this column list, 2 means the second column in this list, and star means the first column in your output. So we are going to perform the same thing here. This is my table name, and in this I want to order my table with first name. So how I am going to achieve? Just select first name last name from your table name, order by first name. First name is the first column, that's why 1. Okay, execute it, and my data is sorted according to the first name. What if I switched my columns? Again, in this I have to order my output according to the first name. Now what is the syntax? This is incorrect syntax. Now my first name is on second position, so I have to type 2 here. Now my data is sorted according to first name. So this is the syntax. If you have to mention more than, or you have to mention lots of column in order by, then you have to properly mention the order of the columns. Okay, now in this scenario we are going to sorting the data according to the last name in ascending order, of course. If nothing is mentioned, then order is by default ascending, and if you want to make it descending, type DESC. Okay, now what if I have only one column in my output? So can I put any other number? No, you are not able to put any other number. Okay, now it's time to learn about offset. As I previously mentioned in the PPT, offset is used to tell SQL Server the number from which you want to get your output. So in this is the syntax. select star from your table name, order by your column name, and then type offset the nth row from which you want your output to be displayed, space row. So let me execute this and let create copy of this. Execute. My first query is without offset and it is returning all the records. Number of records is 19,972. My second query is with offset and in offset the number is 5. Now this table contains record from 5th row or 6th row of this table. So let me see 1 2 3 4 5. Sorry, okay, let me order it once more according to business entity ID. Order it, let's execute it again. Now my first table contains all the records and my second table contains all the records 19972 minus 5. Yes, and let's remove first 5 rows and from 6th row I have output in my second I have records in my second output. So 2306 Aaron Nichols. So this is the purpose of offset. What if I mention 0 in my offset? So it fetch all the records. 19,972. Okay, so offset is done. I have to show you the fetch, how to use fetch. Okay, now if you want only 10 record from 10th row, so how you are going to achieve this? Here is my example. This is my sorted output and I want only 10 records from the 10th row. So here is my requirement. I want all these 10 records. So how I am going to achieve this? Here is the query. Select star from table name, your order by clause with column name, offset number, the number from which you want records, and then number of records you want. So let's execute this and see the result. I execute this two query, so I am able to explain the difference between. So my table first query contains all the records sorted according to the first name and business entity ID, and my second table contains only 10 records or 10 rows from starting from the 11th record. So this is 591 from 11 to 20. From 11 to 20 records. Let me expand this so you are able to see more records. Okay, this is done. So 11 to 20 records are available in my second query. So 5491 to 5503. So this is the use of fetch. Now this query and this query is going to return the same result. What is the difference between these two queries? Instead of row I use rows, and instead of next I use first. So what is the difference between next and first, rows and rows? Nothing, no difference, they are synonyms. Microsoft just mentioned this to achieve the ANSI standard. That's it. There is no difference between next, first, row and rows. So this and these queries are same. Or if I am able to make more versions of this, So this isn't this same, all these three queries are same. If I'm going to copy this and mention SS in all the rows, then all these four queries are same. So I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any doubts, if you want to learn anything else, if you are not able to understand anything in this video, leave a comment. I will try my best to reply as soon as possible. So thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.